Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going today, guys? This is Eddie with Rocky Mountain Blitz. And today I wanted to hop on here and talk about training camp day 4. Now, I didn't get, to really look at Twitter too much this morning because I was at work. But once I got off at noon, which is right around the time training camp ended, a lot of news came out today. A lot of news. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Of course, you got all these battles in training camp this year: the pass rushing battle, the running back battle, the center position battle, cornerback number 2 battle. You got all these things coming out, at training camp. P. Ryan Williams, McLaughlin, have all been looking great. The receivers, Sutton, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin struggled a little bit. Tim Patrick, Josh Reynolds, all have been looking good. Pass rushing, haven't really heard much on Jonah Ellis, but Baron Browning, like Nick Benito was back today, which was good. Of course, as you guys know, yesterday, Brandon Jones, tweaked his hamstring. It just came out today that he will be out for 1 to 2 weeks. So hopefully he'll come back strong, heal that hamstring up. That way we can have our safety group back. And cornerback 2 position, like we know that the cornerback 2 position there's a battle going on there with Levi Wallace, Riley Moss, Damari Mathis, and Chris Abrams Drain, and everything. So, and then also the middle linebacker position, which is another position I want to talk about too, is that Jonas Griffith has been showing out. Like he's been playing really well at the middle linebacker position, especially today. He's been getting a lot of pass breakups, so that's good. And now he's in a competition with Barton for that second role, behind Alex Singleton. And I kind of hope Griffith wins that. Like I know we brought Barton in, whatever, but I want the young guy to get that job personally. Um, the next position battle and the last one I'm going to talk about, well, kind of talk about, is the center position. Now we heard today that Luke Wattenberg he's been taking a lot of the first team reps at center. Another guy that we were kind of hoping that would battle for the center position, Alex Forsyth, because of the connection with Bo Nix. I saw a post today earlier on Twitter that said he's been working out at guard mostly. I guess to be a backup. I mean, we got our guards. We know he's not going to be a starting guard, because you got Powers and you got Miners, who you just paid, and is honestly the best guard in the NFL. So, I kind of hope they put Forsyth back in that center battle, with Mustaford and Luke Wattenberg, because I I really like. You all know how I feel. I think Bo Nix is going to be the starter week 1, and if you got that chemistry between him and that center, I think you should use it to your benefit. That's only if Alex Forsyth, actually wins the battle. But I kind of hope he does, just for that chemistry too. And I hope, and honestly, like I said, I want to be younger. Luke Wattenberg, yeah, he's young, but we drafted him, in the 6th round. I think we did the same thing with Alex Forsyth last year, but still. But coming to the main battle in camp, it is Bo Nix, Jared Stidham, and Zach Wilson battling for the quarterback 1 position. Now, I said this yesterday after I went to camp and came home and made my live. I said this yesterday. Zach Wilson's out of it. Yes, he had his run with the ones today. He had a nice, deep, I think it was like a 30-yard bomb to Troy Franklin for a touchdown. That's nice on 7-on-7s. And 11-on-11s, he didn't really do that great. From what I seen, he got sacked. There was a lot of plays where people were saying he got sacked a lot today and yesterday, in my opinion, because I was there yesterday. Zach Wilson took more sacks than anybody out there between Stidham, him, and Nix. Um, so honestly, and we heard Sean Payton today at his press conference say that there's probably going to be a change in the quarterback battle starting next week. Now, to me, I'm really hoping that means Zach Wilson's out of the running for the quarterback 1 position. Like, you're going into week 2 of training camp, your first preseason game's in 14 days, 2 Sundays from tomorrow. And honestly, like, I understand if they want to keep the competition between Stidham and Nix, that's fine. But just take Zach Wilson out of it. You don't need to be splitting, the first team reps with, 33% with Nick Stidham and Zach Wilson. You need to, at this point, it's clearly, seen. We all see it. All of Broncos country sees it. The coaches see it. Zach Wilson is the number 3. Like if they carry 3 quarterbacks, he will be the third stringer. He's not going to beat out Jared Stidham. He's not going to beat out Bo Nix. Just take him out of the running. Let him compete for the backup role. Maybe he could be the backup. Maybe he could, beat Stidham in the backup role. I doubt it, but let him compete for that backup. If not, be the third stringer because he's not going to be the starter by any stretch of the imagination. So, with that said, like I said, they need to divide the reps up with the first teamers between Stidham and Nix 50-50 for now. Going through this next week. And going through this next week, I think after next Saturday's practice, which I will be at next Saturday's practice, August 3rd, I think at that point, if you cut down the reps, the first team reps between Stidham and Nix 50-50, I think by the end of the week, you're going to know who, is pulling ahead in that competition. And then at that point, the week before, the first preseason game, you can, give more of the first team reps to Nix or Stidham, whichever, whoever pulls ahead in that competition. Now with that said, today, like I said, Zach Wilson had a lot of sacks yesterday. He had some today. He had a nice completion to Troy Franklin down the sideline for like a 30-yard touchdown or 28-yard touchdown. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. Stidham, he looked good. He had a touchdown today too. I forgot who that was to. But here's the thing: we know Zach Wilson's not going to be the guy. He'll make I think I listened to DMVR earlier. Zach Wilson made a nice play, then he took a sack. Then he made another nice play, then he took a sack. Like every other play, he's taking a sack, and that's going to drive Sean Payton crazy if he starts. Like we know that's what happened last year with Russell Wilson. Taking all them sacks consistently really, really was just like driving Sean bonkers. So with that said, like I said, 50-50 between Stidham and Bo Nix. Now today, Stidham, Stidham's the same guy he's been. Like every practice, like I said this yesterday, Bo Nix, that he's been really, doing the short, intermediate, type of throws. He's been doing the short stuff, check downs, drags, slants over the middle. He's been taking the shorter routes. He hasn't really thrown too much deep. I mean, he had a few passes deep the last couple of days, not today, but yesterday and Thursday to Troy Franklin, which he missed. And then Stidham, like, honestly, I saw someone say this, and I kind of agree after watching him yesterday and then seeing the highlights from today. He's a check down artist. He's like a Teddy Bridgewater. Like, yeah, it's consistent, which is nice, but he doesn't really push the ball down the field too much for me. He had a good day. I think he had a touchdown. I think he got credit with like 1 sack. Zach got credited with like 2. So, I don't think Stidham's the guy either, man. Like he doesn't really push the ball down the field. He's safe, he's consistent. He takes the easy passes, the drags, the slants, the check downs. That's what Stidham does. I'm not saying he doesn't have the arm strength, but he's not going to push the ball down the field a lot. He is a Teddy Bridgewater. He's going to take the safe plays and that's it. Granted, that might keep the chains moving most of the time, but sometimes you need your quarterback to make a big play, and I don't think Stidham's that guy. So moving on to Bo Nix, the last person we're going to talk about today before I hop off here. Bo Nix had himself a day. Like, I know people have been keeping score. I think it's pointless, honestly, to keep track of who wins what days because it's practice. They're going to make mistakes. Zach Wilson's made mistakes, which is fine, but he's consistently making mistakes. Like, you can't see the improvement. He's been in the league for 3-4 years. He's not getting better. Stidham, he's consistent. He stays the same every day, like, which is nice. Like I said, that's good, but I want to see progression. I want to see them push the ball. I want to see them get better. And Bo Nix is the only one that's really showing me that. And this is not because I'm a Bo Nix guy. Like all of you guys know, I've been a Bo Nix guy since like January. I wanted him, like, even in the draft, when Brock Bowers was sitting right there at 12 to us and Bo Nix was there. Everybody saying, oh, you need to take Brock Bowers. You can't pass on a generational talent like that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, you take the quarterback. Like if Sean Payton even thinks, for a second that Bo Nix is his quarterback and he's the future, you take him. Brock Bowers ain't going to succeed here without a quarterback to throw to him. So Bo Nix had himself a day-to-day. Yes, early in practice, he threw an interception, which, I'm fine with. Like, I don't care if it's Zach Wilson throwing a pick. I don't care if it's Jared Stidham throwing a pick. The only thing I care about is consistency and them getting better. If they're staying the same or they're, not playing well at all, or they're just, being the same person they were years prior, like Zach Wilson, just being, I don't want to say trash, but not very good. But Bo Nix is showing you consistently day to day he's getting better. He had the one pick. He threw, I think it was a wheel route to Greg Dulcich. Greg Dulcich went on a wheel route, and Bo Nix, it was an ugly throw. He underthrew Greg Dulcich, and Levi Wallace is right there to pick it off. Now, I did see on Twitter earlier that, the reason that someone said that the reason why Bo Nix threw that pick is because, his guardian cap slipped and fell into his vision, and that's the reason why I threw the pick. I've looked this up the last couple hours since I've been home. I've been looking. If I could see anybody else say that, no one else has said that, so I believe it to be false. I don't think it fell. I just think Bo, he made a bad throw, and that's fine. Like, he's a rookie, even though he's the most mature rookie quarterback that came out of this class this year, and I do think he should be the week 1 starter. He's a rookie. He made if it was a bad decision or a bad throw, whichever, or both, I'm fine with it. This is when you learn to deal with that kind of stuff. That's when you learn from these experiences. Like, and I know people say this all the time, and it sounds like a broken record, but I'm like, it's the truth though. I am fine with Bo Nix making mistakes in practice. Can he learn from them? That's the question. Like, is he going to be like, a quarterback that's like, oh man, I made a mistake, and then he's gonna become a check down artist, scared to push the ball because he threw an interception, and just be nervous to do anything after that because he threw one bad pass? It's true. Like I said, I know it sounds like a broken record, but it is true. In the NFL, it is true 110%. When you make a bad play as a quarterback, how do you respond to that? That is a big thing. For God's sake, even Peyton Manning said this a couple of weeks ago. Like, Peyton Manning threw a bunch of interceptions his rookie year when he started. Like, he started as a rookie, week 1. He threw a bunch of picks. And even Peyton Manning said, you got to, for a young rookie quarterback to learn, let them go out there and make the mistakes, even in regular games. Like, that's how you learn. Practice, training camp, preseason, regular season, you make those mistakes, you learn. Can you learn from them? And Bo Nix did. Like, today, small sample size. I understand that. But each week, Bo Nix is showing you he's getting better and better and better. He's not staying the same. Like Stidham. Stidham's like right here every day. He just stays right here. Zach Wilson's down here, and he doesn't go up at all. I can deal with Stidham, being average and being right here every day and being safe. But then you got Zach Wilson that's down here and he doesn't even get better even slightly. He stays. Bo Nix was here with Stidham when he first came in. He's slowly going up. That's what we want to see. Like I said, I know it sounds, like a broken record. Everybody says this, but it is so freaking true. Bo Nix is getting better day by day by day. After that interception, how did he respond to that? Only threw 3 touchdowns in the red zone. And he made it look easy. Now, a lot of people are going to come out and say, oh, well, Russ was great last year in the red zone at throwing touchdowns. That's true. He was. Russell Wilson in the red zone, I can't remember what exactly he was, but he had some really, really good numbers, almost perfect numbers in the red zone for Russ. But here's the thing. If you go back and watch some of the games last year, or most of the games last year with Russ in the red zone, he made it look difficult. Like, just sit in the pocket. Like Sean wants you to do, just sit in the pocket. You got the routes coming open. Like, yes, the routes ain't wide open. Like, this is like playing Madden to me, watching Russ last year. Like, you got kids that are literally, instead of throwing the timing routes, like, okay, we know the receiver is going to break over the middle here, and there's going to be a small window or a window after he passes that linebacker. You throw it with anticipation, get it to the area where you know the receiver is going to be, where the linebacker can't get it. Boom, you got the pass. Russ didn't do that. Unless the guy was wide open, he was just like, he'd take off and scramble. He would not anticipate the throw. Bo Nix does that. And, you know, whenever there was one of the biggest touchdown, honestly, in the red zone for Bo Nix was, I think they were on the 3-yard line or the 5-yard line, if I remember right. It was like third and 5 or third and 2 or something. I can't remember, but it was like third and goal, but it was from like the 5 or 2-yard line or 3-yard line. You see Dulcich, he's on the right side and he catches it on the pretty much the back pylon on the left side of the end zone. You see Dulcich go up, go across, and before Dulcich is even there at the pylon, Bo Nix places that ball right there at the pylon where only Dulcich can get it. He throws it where he's going to be, not where he is. Perfect pass. And Dulcich didn't even have to reach out for it. He literally went like this. The ball was placed perfectly for him to catch. So improvement by Bo Nix. The other ones, I'm going to go, and the other two were, that was to the tight end Dulcich. The other 2 touchdowns he had were to the running backs. The one, excuse me, was, it was a play action. He turned around, acted like he was going to hand off to Perine. Perine leaks out. Nobody covers him. He just, whoop, right there. Perine just turns and walks right into the end zone. There was nobody there. The last touchdown was to Javonte Williams. And from my understanding, I haven't seen a video. Like, you can see the Dulcich touchdown, you can see the Levi Wallace pick, and you can see the Perine touchdown. But the Javonte Williams touchdown pass, I haven't been able to find a video. But from what I hear is that, I can't remember who it was. There was a defender strongly on Javonte. Like, he was on him like white on rice. Like, he was on him. And Bo Nix just perfectly lobs it over the defender, only where Javonte could catch it at I think it was a right back pylon. Perfect pass, just drops it in the breadbasket for a touchdown. And that was a wheel route too. This kid is showing that he's improving. After yesterday, like I said yesterday, if you wanted to give the day to Jarrett Stidham, like I think the first 2 days, the acclimation periods, Jarrett Stidham probably, like I really don't do win the days, but if you want to give the slight edge to a player or to one of them, the first 2 days, I would have probably gave the edge, going back, looking through all the reports and what film they had. Jarrett Stidham won, pretty much out, he was a little bit better than Bo Nix day 1 and day 2. Yesterday, whenever I was there, like I said, you could have gave the day to Jarrett Stidham if you wanted to. I personally gave it to Bo Nix because he's showing growth. And like I said, I had Stidham taking more sacks than Bo Nix. Zach Wilson definitely took more sacks than Bo Nix. And, just get, reading the defense and getting out, that's what, and like I said, Stidham was, checking it down a lot yesterday too. Bo Nix was actually pushing. Granted, all the balls that, he pushed, like deep shots down the field, they were overthrows, which whatever. You learn that in camp. But Stidham, he was just steady. He wouldn't go deep. He was just steady, steady, steady. Bo Nix was kind of creeping. I gave the edge to Bo Nix yesterday because he impressed me more as a rookie than a guy that's been in the system for a year and been in the NFL for about 2-3 years. So I gave the edge to Nix yesterday. Today, nobody can say that anybody else won the day other than Bo Nix. Like I said, I don't like using that term, but you have to give the edge today to Bo Nix. He showed what, most people want to see. Honestly, majority of people want to see, which is he made a bad decision. He made a bad throw. He got picked off. How did he rebound from that? He only rebounded with 3 touchdowns in the red zone. And like I said, it wasn't like, oh, he made, and the touchdowns that he did make were beautiful. He made it look easy. That's the other thing. Not only how, if Bo Nix is progressing upward, how did he rebound after making a bad play? He also, he made it look easy versus like what Russ did last year. You see him in the red zone last year, like I said, Russ made it look difficult. Like, if you just throw the timing routes, you throw where Sean Payton tells, where the receiver is going to be, just hit him. Just throw the ball with anticipation, get it there for the receiver where the defender can't get it, and you got a touchdown. Russ, every single red zone TD, or not every single one, I'm sure he made a few look easy, but the majority of his red zone touchdowns last year, he made look difficult. Bo Nix made him look easy today. He made him look easy. He rebounded after making a bad play, and he's progressing forward. And I will say it again on this channel, and you can come at me any way you want. You can say I'm crazy. Bo Nix will be the starter week 1. No doubt in my mind. If he keeps going on this trajectory that he's on right now, progressing, getting better and better, honestly, throughout the entire camp, I would have to say Bo Nix is in the lead. He is QB1 at this point. Unless, he starts really, playing poorly every day and does, if Bo Nix starts, going backwards, pretty much. If Bo Nix starts going backwards and Stidham just stays even, or even just progresses a little bit, that's the only way Bo Nix ain't quarterback 1. But Bo Nix would have, he's got to start going backwards. If Bo Nix starts going backwards, then that's a problem. But I don't see it. Every practice, whether if it was rookie minicamp, OTAs, mandatory minicamp, the first 4 days of training camp, Bo Nix has showed progression. Maybe not much, but he's been showing progression steadily, just climbing up the ladder. So Bo Nix is QB1. And like I said, the first preseason game is in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow, August 11th, we go to Indianapolis to play the Colts. And honestly, I don't know what in preseason, quarterback, who's the starting quarterback really don't matter too much, because every week, if you carry 3 quarterbacks, you got 3 preseason games. Every quarterback's going to get a chance to start. Every quarterback's going to get a chance to run with the ones and start. Could it be Bo Nix starting, against the Colts first preseason game? Possibly. Could it be Stidham? Could it be Zach Wilson? Yes, that could all be true. But every quarterback, if Zach Wilson is still in this competition, by the 3rd preseason game, if he stays in this competition and is still on the roster by the 3rd preseason game, I believe every quarterback will get a chance to start one of those games and have a chance with the starters in those games to show what they can do. But as far as who starts, who's going to be the first starter of the Colts game, it could be either 3 of them. All it matters is Bo Nix gets one start with the starters in one of those preseason games. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter which one it is. But honestly, if I had to guess, with it being 2 weeks away, the Broncos have, what is it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6. Plus, I think they got 6. They got 12 days of training camp. Well, maybe less than that. Maybe about 10 or 9. 10 or 9 more training camps before that first preseason game. And honestly, if, like I said, Bo Nix keeps progressing, which I believe he will, because he's been showing it all offseason, everything, OTAs, rookie minicamp, mandatory minicamp, training camp, he's been showing progression. I believe he's the starter. But just because I believe he's the starter doesn't mean he starts, the first preseason game as the starter. I believe they're still at that point, unless Bo Nix blows it out of the water. If over the next 2 weeks, Bo Nix just goes freaking ham and just goes insane, instead, like I said, if Stidham's going to stay here, in my opinion, he's not going to go up, he's not going to go down. Zach Wilson, I don't think he's going up either. He's going to stay right where he is too, which is worse than Stidham. But if Bo Nix continues to progress forward, which I believe he will, and he just lights it up, if he starts looking better and better throughout each training camp, practice, there's no way you could sit there, even by the first preseason game, if in the next 2 weeks, Bo Nix just keeps getting better and better and progressing forward, and Zach Wilson or, Stidham does not, increase and progress forward, you're going to have a hard time if you're Sean Payton to convince the fan base that there's still a quarterback battle and there's, Bo Nix is not the starter. If people got, access to information on the internet, people have, people can go to training camp and watch the practices. If it's clear that Bo Nix is if like I said, Zach Wilson down here, just take him out of the equation. He's out. But Stidham's right here, middle. And Bo Nix keeps every day going up, 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 up. And by the first preseason game, he's up here and Stidham's still here. You can't sell the fan base that, hey, we're still having this quarterback competition and Bo Nix is not the starter. Like, that's insane to me. Not only are you not fooling the fan base because they can see it with their own eyes, but it's also the fact that and if you keep giving them 50-50 reps at that point, it's like all you're doing is hurting the team and hurting Bo Nix's progression. If he's proven that he's getting better than Stidham every freaking day, the best thing you can do is give Bo Nix all the first team reps, get that timing, get that precision, get that, accuracy, not really accuracy, but get that, all that stuff, the timing, them working together to get to know each other more. Give them as much time as you can before the regular season kicks in. We want Bo Nix to be 100% ready to go come week 1. And if he's showing more progression, he keeps going. Like, if he keeps getting better and better and Stidham stays the same, give him the first team reps. Don't even risk that. You want to have that timing and everything down by the start of week 1. So, but like I said, Nix today, if you asked my opinion and some people in Broncos country's opinions, I think Bo Nix, he clearly, after yesterday, to me, he clearly separated himself from Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson doesn't stand a chance to beat Bo Nix. He doesn't. And if you ask me after today's little thing, like I said, knowing that Stidham has not moved up, he has not progressed forward, and Bo Nix has, Bo Nix, in my opinion, has pushed himself past Jarrett Stidham. Like, I believe he is the QB1 now. Like, maybe it's going to take some time for other people to see that. Maybe more practices. Maybe, Bo needs to prove himself a little bit more to people, which is fine. But in my eyes, Bo Nix has separated himself from Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham. He is QB1. And I will be pleasantly shocked if he is not the starter come week 1. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe on this video. And tomorrow night, I will be on my other podcast, Colorado Sports Connection at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We will have Mohammed back. So please come over tomorrow night and check that out. We're going to go through all the stuff about training camp over the last 4 days. But yeah, please come over there and like, comment, subscribe on that video. And please like, comment, subscribe on my personal channel to help me grow. It really helps out. I really want to get this channel bigger and out there for everybody else to see. Share it with your friends and family too. Like I said, just share this. Anybody that's a Broncos fan, share this. I give my wholehearted, honest opinion on everything I see, everything I hear. And I'm not a homer. Like, I know a lot of people think that, oh, you got Bronco fans out here that do these podcasts are straight homers, and then you got people that are just straight haters. I like to consider myself in the middle. Yes, I have the Broncos finishing 10-7, which a lot of people think that's insane. But I just personally think with Sean Payton having his own quarterback, it's worth 2 more wins, But I do still think this is an evaluation year. I don't expect, like, the way I had my rankings or my predictions set up for the season, I did have the Broncos making the playoffs, but I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And I've been pretty, even on the quarterback battle. But after today, like I said, I feel like, after yesterday, Nick separated himself from Wilson. After today, he separated himself from Stidham. And you guys know, if the Broncos have a bad game, if a player has a bad game, whether if it's the quarterback or whoever, I will be straight up honest with you. Like yesterday, Bo Nix almost threw an interception. Like, honestly, it probably should have been picked off yesterday. A homer is not going to tell you that. A homer is going to deny that. He's not even going to say it. He's just going to be like, nope, he had a solid day, or he had an okay day, or he had a great day. But no. So please, guys, like, comment, subscribe on this video, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will jump off. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.